looking deep down the left side. Mendeville into the end zone. Touchdown! Down the sideline, still 40, 20 to the house.
And the players streaming from the sideline to celebrate with 17 seconds left.
Welcome, everybody, to BVarsity Live. I'm Zach Ewing alongside Trevor Horn. This is BVarsity Live for February the 11th. And we also have in the studio, it's a great day because AJ Sharon's here. We've been trying to get him on the show for a while now. He always wears, last time you were here, you were featured, it led to you being featured in the What's in My Closet feature in Bakersfield Life. Today, you disappointed us. You just wore a Liberty basketball polo. I was hoping for something crazy.
And some pants that Trevor didn't care for.
Joggers.
Yeah, some jogger
Are you
pants
kidding me?
Yeah.
You're wearing like slippers with rubber soles,
I
too.
can't.
Yeah,
I
some
can't sign
loafers.
off on those suckers.
Well,
I can't.
whatever.
I'm not going to do it. I'm
Trevor.
not signing off on them.
Whatever. This is why it's taken so many weeks to get me on the show. Is exactly what we're going through right now. Trevor's constant critique.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
No,
you had
I'm just not. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not. I mean, usually you are. I like your attire. You have a lot of great clothes, but I can't sign off on these pants.
Listen, just spend a
Not
little
gonna
more
do
time
it.
in your wardrobe next time, okay?
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Not
Next
gonna
time
do
I
it.
see Trevor, absolutely.
Yep.
And also, by the way, sitting quietly for once in his life is Louis Amistoy.
No one cares.
Who's
I'm sorry.
the owner-operator of BVarsity Live. And he's got some free tickets, by the way, which you've been paying attention on social media. You know, what is it called? You're the one that I love.
Here's the deal, because Trevor screwed it up earlier. It's, okay, you know the people who brought you Talladega Frights, which is over in Rosedale? Okay, and then you also have Halloween Town, and they had Christmas Town, too, which is really cool.
But Louis, it's not Halloween or Christmas season,
I know.
so tell me more.
But here it is. You're the one that I want. Talladega Ranch, 3825 River Lakes Drive. It's Friday and Saturday. We have
Okay, so that's what they're doing with it now because we couldn't figure it out. We drive by it every day and we just couldn't figure it out.
We
what
have
it is
free tickets. We're going to give away.
Those tickets, by the way, are $25 each, so this is a $50 value.
This is a great deal here. Mento Brew. This is from Dana Martin, whose son
Jarrett Martin.
Jared Martin, one of the
He
greats.
plays in the Dodgers farm system.
He's independent free agent this year.
Oh, is he? I guess he's done.
yeah.
He was done with the Dodgers. Okay.
Mento Brew and
Can I
concert.
be an independent free agent?
No, be quiet. Mento Brew and concert 8 o'clock on Friday. Trucks and Mile and concert on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Kids 10 under are free. They got bounce houses, climbing walls, and more. Also, for the dancing kids and the teenagers, your ages 13 to 18, there's an all-night DJ and dance floor at Club Zombie. And for Trevor, here it is.
Nope.
All
La,
new
la, la, la,
Clown
la, la,
Insanity,
la, la, la.
part of Halloween
La, la, la,
2016
la,
build,
la,
build of the
la, la, la,
Talladega
la,
Frights.
la, la.
So there you go. Get these. So to get these, you had to answer a question. What was the question, Zach Ewing?
Question, which I actually thought was the easiest of the 4 questions we floated to you as possibilities.
I like the Sal Sinatra one personally.
How many? Maybe we'll go over the backup questions. We'll see if AJ can answer them. How many boys basketball
answer
teams
this one,
from
AJ.
Kern County
Can we pass? I don't want to talk about this one.
have made the Division I basketball finals at Selland Arena? And it's kind of a trick question.
No.
Because
It was how many have won.
Hey, who was the guy?
The question is how many have won.
Hey,
Oh.
who was
Well,
the
it's the
guy
same
that-
answer. How
who
many
was
have
the
won,
guy
how
that
many have
went
been
on
there?
Facebook and answered the question?
0.
It was
Yes,
Mike
correct.
Martin.
From Ridgeview,
Yes.
right?
I called him and told him. I texted him. I said, Mike, come on, read.
Did he feel bad?
No, he laughed about it and emailed me. He's
Okay.
in here.
All right, he's in there. All right.
Mike
Well,
Martin, Ridgeview
we'll give
coach,
those,
looking
you
for.
guys will give us away at the end of the show.
Yeah.
There's
We're going to
yes.
have actually AJ go into a Centennial hat
Ooh, nice.
to pick him.
Yeah, we have. Are you gonna be here the whole show?
I don't know.
All right.
We'll see.
Can you?
We'll see.
Yeah,
Why
all right.
not? As long as Trevor leaves
As
me
long
alone.
as you and Trevor don't get at each other's throats. we're
I've
okay.
never gotten at AJ's throat. I just don't
Right.
like his pants today.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. AJ, big win last night. AJ, by the way, besides being a good friend of ours, is the Liberty boys basketball coach. By the way, that's his
Yeah.
connection here.
Yeah,
I forgot to say that.
That's right.
Is your middle name Patriot?
It might as well be. At
Yeah,
this
no
point.
kidding.
Your Patriots, whom you describe as a very talented but undersized basketball team, is that fair?
Right.
Yeah. Laid the wood on Garces last night. 89 to
55.
89 to 55, 16 three-pointers,
Gee,
school
man,
record.
Christmas. Who had what? How many? Who had the threes?
Spread out pretty evenly.
Really?
Well, Madrano had, what, 21 in the first
Samir
half?
had 5. Samir Gill had 5.
Most of them were in the
Really spread out.
first half, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No, we really shot the ball well. The guys came out on fire. That'll happen at home. Every once in a while.
AJ,
And-
do you have a target for how many threes you want to attempt in a game? Do you tell your guys, I want to try this many threes?
We don't. Game flow really dictates that. We don't have a target specifically.
How many did you shoot last night?
Last night we were 16 for 29.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's pushing
I'm sorry, I don't
60%.
think you're not
Yeah.
losing many basketball games when you go 16-29 behind the.
If you
beyond the arc.
lose a basketball game going 16 of 29 from 3, you did something else very,
got a
very
problem.
poorly.
Hey, do you see the 3-point line in the boys game being moved back like the college
You know, I don't
game?
know. I haven't heard much discussion about that. I think it kind of ebbs and flows. The 3-point shot is so big right now that it's a topic, but I don't know. I think it takes a lot of force to get a rule change like that made. I don't see it happening.
Well, I mean, if you look at the NBA right now, where the Warriors are going with it, it almost makes it look silly. You can't. How much further back can you go?
But the thing is, okay, here's my issue. There's a couple guys out there in the media that are saying that Steph Curry is ruining basketball by the way he plays basketball. I don't understand that. How can a guy who works hard, who does the little things, who shoots the basketball,
Everybody likes to watch him play. How is that
how
ruining
is that
basketball?
bad for the game? And it's showing young kids that you've got to keep shooting in the gym. You've got to be a gym rat to be good.
Yeah,
How is that a bad thing?
It's not. I think that's a misguided statement. I don't think there's.
It's
I think
100%
a lot of
misguided.
people have dissected that. I don't see that at all. I mean, if anything, you try and get your kids to stop trying to run up and
Yeah.
throw
No offense,
lobs to
I'm going
each
to take
other.
a Steph Curry
Right.
over Shaquille O'Neal because Steph goes, okay, I can do everything right. Shaq said, Shaq could have scored 50 points a game if he could shoot
crazy.
a three-pointer. No,
Okay, no more Trevor NBA talk. It just goes off the rails so quickly.
It's because Shaq's a minority owner of the Kings. So that's the situation.
A couple of weeks ago, the Kings were going to win 45 games. What's the Sacramento Kings record at the All-Star break there, Trevor?
21-31.
Yeah,
Come
okay,
on.
so, yeah, all right. Moving
So
on.
I think that's about 25 for 30 in the second half. But
Yeah,
that's
that's-
out there.
hey.
It's out there. Anyways, yeah. So for Steph, Steph is such a great guy also that I think even if his game did represent a facet that you didn't appreciate or didn't like, the fact of the way he carries himself, the kind of teammate he is, he's doing the exact opposite of ruining the game. He's setting an example for kids of how to behave on and off the court, how to lead. He's an awesome guy. Everybody tunes in for Steph Curry, so I think that's
and not only do you have Steph Curry on that team, but you got Klay Thompson who can shoot the three just as well as, if not better, than.
And here's the thing: they move the ball. It's fun to watch. There's no one-on-one or very little one-on-one with that team.
We model a lot of what we
I was
do
gonna ask, yeah.
off that. We have, Draymond is really what pushes that team, his skill set, and that's a very unique skill set that you can't replicate. But we really getting the ball from side to side, especially even at the NBA level, teams don't like to guard you when the ball is going side to side and multiple screens. At the high school level, they really don't like to. So our success and failure really hinges on if we're moving the ball. If we take early shots, we become really easy to guard. If we don't, and we got into that Warriors ball sharing system, we get pretty good like we were last night.
Well,
How much do you miss your Draymond?
My Draymond is in Logan, Utah,
Yes, he
and I
is.
think it's about 75 here and probably 5 there.
Hi,
So-
Jordan. Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah,
Jordan
hi,
Love. Hello, how are you?
No, we really do, but we've had some guys step up into that role, and that's what's really special. Samir Gill is a transfer; it's his first year in the program, but he's come in and he can really pass it.
I think Brandon Gonzalez is really kind of coming to
Brandon
his own for you
Gonzalez
guys.
is shooting the ball great, and then Anais Madrano is. He averages more points than anybody in town. He can really score.
Yeah,
as a
I wouldn't
junior.
know that because somebody doesn't put stats on Max, perhaps.
Well, we know that now. The town knows since I announced it on BVarsity. But he scores quite a bit of points. He's a really talented player. We have 5 guys on the court. Most of the time, they can shoot the ball, and so that becomes hard to defend on nights like last night, where Anais has 21 points in the first quarter. They shift their focus to him, and then Samir has 18 in the second quarter, and then Brandon chips in with 11 in the first half. It can be hard to guard when
So
you shoot like that.
the
Let's shift
situation.
I was going to say, I don't know if you're going to do the same thing
The
I am.
situation is that you guys improved to 6-2 last night, and you get a little bit of help because I don't know if you consider it help or not. Bakersfield beat Centennial last night, so both of those teams are now 7-1. There's 2 games to go, one tomorrow night, and then the season finale is next Wednesday.
Right.
And you happen to play Centennial and BHS in your final 2 games, so you still control your own destiny at this point, or now you do.
Well, I think, early in the year, I know Trevor got in trouble for a tweet he sent out about, in Bakersfield, it's Centennial and everybody else. But to be honest,
At that point, it was.
That's how we felt about it in terms of our
I
league,
told you
at
you were
least.
wrong right off the bat.
No one cares what you think.
I told you you were wrong right off the bat.
I like
so
that.
there
I
you
like
go.
that. But we felt like, especially losing Jordan, that, hey, we're going to have an uphill battle. Centennial's really big. They're physical. They're athletic. That's a bad matchup for us. We're going to have to play great to get those guys. In the first round, we played great, lost in overtime at their place, and that was a good result. But I really felt like when we lost to BHS, that kind of threw us out of the running. I'm like, I really don't see Centennial losing to anybody else. They beat BHS pretty good the first time, I think by 18 or so. But Greg has done such a remarkable job with that group, losing Ronnie Stapp, who was the key especially, I mean, offensively, but even defensively, rebounded and protected the rim. And they just, I mean, he does a better job than anybody else right now based on looking at his talent level and what he gets out of those guys. They play together. They play hard. Multiple guys step up every night. So it's a major challenge, but we went from having no control to having all the control. So these next 2 games become playoff games. We really start the playoffs 2 weeks early, starting tomorrow.
And then the playoff seeding will come out next Friday. Next Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday the 20th.
Afternoon.
Yeah. And that we were talking about this before the show, but the main criteria now for basketball is coaches' rankings, which we saw how that goes the last couple of years. I think this very week last year we had Dave Purdy in here with 2 of his Stockdale players, his son
Tucker
Robbie and then Tucker Einigenberg, Trevor. We're on the show.
Just like it sounds.
Yeah. And we had anyway, we asked him what he thought seeding was going to be, and he sort of said, hey, we've had a good year. We think we're the 5 seed or whatever.
Hey, guys, just so you know, Jim Critchlow actually told me today, Friday morning, next
19th.
week.
Okay, well, so we
For
get it.
boys
That's
baseball.
awesome.
All right.
Yeah, so
That's
Friday
awesome.
morning. Yeah.
Because the season ends on Thursday now, essentially.
Yeah, so our last game is
So they're
Wednesday.
going to try to
Last
do
game
it.
is
So
Wednesday,
they're
and-
hoping to do it just like
That's
they're doing
called
it
the-
tomorrow
that's the Liberty
for
Rule.
soccer. They're going to try to do it as soon as possible
Okay.
on Friday.
That's a good correction. Now, but anyway, the point being, not to pick on Dave, but he was completely wrong.
Yeah.
He was actually the 12 seed.
Right.
Nobody could figure out exactly how that happened because Stockdale had a much better season than that. Well, how it happened is the coaches are free to put whatever they want
Right.
for coaches' rankings.
Right.
So you could literally put whatever Clovis High School's winless in their league, their Division I. You could put them as the number 1 seed if you so choose. If you're the Clovis High coach, you're free to do that.
Well, especially
What-
if you
how do-
have an agenda and you want to be the 4 or 5 in the first round or whatever because you feel like you could do this and then know that you can play the
Do
2
you-
seed or whatever.
Is there any way to predict how this is going to come out? Have you talked to coaches? Do you have any idea?
No, there's not. And I think, when the coaches got together, there's a coaches committee that suggests rule changes to our local CIF office, to Jim and those guys there. And when we met, I was the only Bakersfield coach there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really taking all my feedback from Dave and sending it forward, and it just made no sense. I mean, last year we both played at Clovis North. We both beat them. We were 3-0 against the track. I think Dave was 2-1. We both had higher league finishes than Clovis North did. If I remember correctly, I think Clovis North finished with a 5. We were an 8, and Stockdale was a 12.
And had to go at Clovis North and then got beat up, didn't back their argument up. But that shouldn't matter. I mean,
it's irrelevant, really.
Yeah,
And
the point is what happened
I
before.
actually saw the seeds because we did a little seeding party and had the stream at one of our players' houses, and I called Dave. And I was like, man, like, how mad are you? And he's like, what are you talking about? He hadn't heard yet. So I actually told him that he got the 12, and he's like, you're kidding.
That's
And
the
I'm like,
longest
no.
distance between 2 D1 teams.
No.
If you think about it in the
Yeah.
central section, you
Yeah.
go Stockdale up to Clovis North.
And anybody who saw Stockdale play last year, I mean, Tucker and Robbie were as good as anybody in the Valley.
Yep.
And that was just a really bad deal, and it really soured the experience of seeding because you like to think, oh, I beat these guys, so I should maybe be ahead of them, or my league finishes this, or I won a league title.
we talk about these non-league games as being pivotal in December, but if they're not going to mean anything, they're not. They don't mean anything.
Well, and scheduling changes because of that. Because does it make sense for me to take my team all 3 levels to play at Clovis North if I win and it doesn't matter? Does that make sense? Because if it loses, maybe it does matter. And so that's where I think coaches started to look at their scheduling.
Maybe Mike
this
Martin
year.
is doing it the right way, where he's just playing the teams that he knows he.
Well,
plays. I
mean,
don't know, but
I think the tournament. It's the line for Ridgeview is they're in tournaments and you can't control that.
Yeah.
But there's that 5 or 6 non-league games and who you pick, and he picked Central,
Yeah.
who was at the time the number 1 team in the Valley, and they blew them out.
Yes.
So I think what we're looking at is it's not so much change in the tournaments, but there's 5 or 6 games every year where you schedule somebody. Like this year we played Edison and Buchanan. I'm going to pick some school in Emmanuel. I'm going to pick some schools and we're going to play them. But does that benefit me? Is it worth it at this point? And that's the question that coaches are asking. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
what do you do? What's the right thing? And it's hard to tell.
Okay.
I
Well,
know we got to do a break here real quick, but I want to make a couple of quick points for you guys. By the way, you're the one that I want. Boom. We're going to give those away.
Wait, who were you looking at when you said
Trevor's
that?
going to go to the Clown Insanity event.
no.
I want to make one quick point
No.
about it's interesting about Ridgeview. They just lost their first basketball game to Eastvale Roosevelt. But did you see how many Division I or how many scholars or players that Narbonne signed?
13
11.
or
Like
something? 11.
13, I think. No, it was more than 11. It was like 12 or 13. It's incredible. absolutely incredible.
7 D1s and the rest were like 1 AAs and
Yeah.
D2s. It was
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be back with AJ after this break. We're going to eventually give away those You're the One That I Want tickets to Talladega Ranch for Friday or Saturday night.
Lewis,
we'll
am
be
I
back
the
on
one you want?
BVarsity Live right after this.